"We had an incident on the way home," he declared. "What kind of incident? Did you crash the car? Why is it covered up?" He glared balefully at me. "Are you going to continue firing questions at me, or are you going to listen?" "Sorry." "The trailer had a tyre blowout. We had to limp it along to a lay-by." "I told you that trailer's too old. And I told you that Bob and I thoroughly checked it over. Just because something's getting on a bit doesn't mean it's no use to anybody, Emmy. We overloaded it, that's all." "Didn't you have a spare?" "We did. We changed it, but it must have had a leak we hadn't noticed." "What about breakdown cover?" "It turns out I'm not covered for towing, only for the car." I closed my eyes. "You didn't think to check before you set off?" "Checked the insurance, didn't think to check the breakdown cover." "So where's the trailer now?" "That was what our friend came about. We had to leave it where it was." "You abandoned a trailer in a lay-by halfway between here and Calais?" "Didn't have any choice. Couldn't have got a tyre at that time of night for love nor money. The car was already stuffed full, so we loaded what we could onto the roof rack and tied it down. The least valuable items are still in the trailer, trusting to luck and the honesty of our fellow man. The idea was to get a tyre this morning, drive back and change it, but it's already been reported and traced to me, hence our visit from the gendarme." He sighed. "I need to get it sorted by midday or I'm getting fined or arrested or something. Will you be okay on your own? I know it's not convenient." "You're telling me." Saturday was gîte changeover day, and since it was the height of summer, that meant all three to clean out and get ready for arrivals, and a departure and a set of new arrivals for the Guesthouse, and a guest meal to cook. "I'll be fine," I lied, taking in the bags under his eyes. "You look tired, Rupert. All that driving and hoiking furniture about, argy-bargying with Gloria, which I shall inquire about later." "Can't be helped. I'd better phone Bob, poor bugger, and tell him we need to get off. By the time we found the right size tyre and driven back to the trailer, we might be pushing the gendarme's deadline. Leave the welcome baskets for the gîtes till last, Emmy. I might be back in time to do those at least." "Have you had your meds? Will you eat something before you go?" "No, but I will. Yes, if you throw something together while I have a quick shower." He staggered off, and I sorted out fruit and yogurt and toast for him. I couldn't help but feel sorry for Bob, our local hippie biker and soon-to-be my wedding photographer. The poor sod had already given up his time to drive and lift and carry and referee between Rupert and his very nearly ex-wife. That bloke deserved a Good Friend award. The dog had begun to whine in Rupert's lounge. Since neither of us had time to walk her, I let her out into the small orchard at the side of the house to do whatever a dog needs to do, grimacing as I watched her crouch, then sighing as I grabbed a plastic bag and trudged out to pick up after her. I wasn't sure that was on my official job description. Not that I had an official job description. The daft black Labrador was off, slaloming around the trees, the morning sun slanting through the leaves, the grass beneath her paws green and lush and dew-speckled, and I whistled for her to come back in. I refused to call her name as a matter of principle. I honestly believed that Rupert's decision to call her Gloria in a moment of irony was the worst idea he'd ever had. Nowadays, the dog seemed able to distinguish between when Rupert used the name Gloria to refer to her and when he was referring to the human Gloria, perhaps due to the differing intonation. Joyous enthusiasm for his pet and weary resignation for his ex-wife. But, as far as I was concerned, she was Sweetie, or the dog, and, fairly frequently, that bloody dog of yours. Although one look from those woeful eyes always made me melt, and I couldn't resist burying my face in her soft fur when we were lounging together. When I saw her emerge from a tall hedge and streak towards the house, safe in the knowledge that she would settle in her basket in the hall, I went into the kitchen to lay out breakfast. Heroically forcing my hand away from the pan au raisin, I grabbed a banana and gulped it down as the first guests appeared. They seated themselves at the scrubbed pine table under the sloping roof of the kitchen extension, away from the business end of the kitchen, to enjoy the late July sunshine pouring through the large window and patio doors, and to peruse the breakfast goodies. When I asked if they would like eggs, laid by Rupert's own chickens, and how they would like them cooked, I carefully omitted the fact that, with Rupert absent, they would get a much inferior version. Despite his careful tutelage, Eggs and I still did not get on from a culinary point of view.